This lady was so almost desperate to avoid any contact with Meghan Markle. I will show that more in details why I'm claiming that. But before I move on, just to remind you, most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you're one of them, consider subscribing. If you go to YouTube now and watch that video, before you do that, YouTube will send you a notification, something like this. Obviously, this will restrict a lot of viewers from opening this video right away, and it might actually keep some people away from watching this video. It might ask them not to watch it, and they might reconsider opening this video. So this is something that will definitely going to affect the viewership. But that's not what I want to talk about only. I also want to share with you something very, very interesting that I have noticed. If you take a look at this video of Meghan and Harry, and this is the CBS interview. Let's go frame by frame because there is something you have missed. So before Meghan came into the picture, people were absolutely excited, and they were happy. They were chit-chatting with each other. So this is when they met, and you can see this lady, her body language, her body language, his body language, the facial expression. You can see they are enjoying the moment. They're very, very natural. Nothing is happening, they're not tensed, very relaxed, just chit-chatting. Now, when Meghan enters into the picture, everything will change. So here comes the venom, and everyone's facial expression changes. It should not happen, but it happened. Now, another thing that you have noticed, which is that this hug of Meghan Markle, and I mentioned this before, was completely fake and forced. Somebody actually on the internet, on X, mentioned that this hug was taking up too much space, invading someone's privacy, someone's the right not to hug, because people who go through trauma, normally they do not like to be hugged, they do not like to be touched. I mean, this is the case with so many people. So you better be careful when you are hugging people, parents who have lost their children, because they may not be wanting it. But Harry and Meghan, both of them, they did not care. And as you can see, the bear hug comes. Now, when I say, people who lost, or parents who lost their children, never will hug you, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that some people, they may choose not to do so. But obviously, Meghan Markle, she forced it, and Harry saw Meghan doing it. And so both of them were doing this exactly same thing. Again, you better be careful how you hug people, and do not take up too much space, and do not force yourself into other people's space. Now, one thing you will also notice here is Meghan's positioning of her body. Take a look at how Meghan is stepping forward. Did you see that? It just happened. She was not getting any attention, and that's what she realized, that she needs to reposition herself. And so she took a step forward, came forward, trying to become involved in the conversation. And I have a good feeling that nobody wanted her to be involved in any way, shape, or form in this kind of discussion, because she doesn't have any credibility, she doesn't have any skill, she did not go through any of those experiences that these people went through. And obviously, Harry, on the other hand, was not sure what to expect from this. There is another thing that I also want to make point about, is this one. So Meghan, after meeting Jane Pauley, take a look where she will stand. Take a look. She is standing way behind her with this gentleman. I'm not sure who this gentleman is, but obviously looks like to me a parent who lost his son or daughter. But Meghan is touching her neck for really no reason. Is she trying to get some attention or not? I don't know. But to me, it looks like her standing there in that with that kind of body language shows that perhaps she cannot wait to get into the attention, sooner. And of course, when Harry met this lady, Jane Pauley, he was again not, maintaining eye contact with her the way he should be. He was actually focused on this guy when this guy was talking. But as we know, that Harry was not really feeling like it, because this topic that was discussed, he did not approve Meghan of that. But again, maybe I'm just thinking too much into this, but Harry was definitely not happy with this whole setup, with this whole interview. Now take a look at Meghan Markle. Her moving her hand. I'm gonna actually playing the video in real motion.
They certainly could. And that's, I think, one of the scariest things that we've learned over the course of the last 15, 17 years that social media's been around, and more so recently, is the fact that it could happen to absolutely anybody.
Okay, so he is talking about suicide and all that, not suicide, online harm. Now, take a look at Meghan's necklace, the one she's wearing. It is, to me, it looks like a handcuff weared on her neck. Okay, this is a police handcuff. Looks like. Let me look at the design. I don't know. She was trying to obviously to create some attention. She was trying to have her presence known during that interview. This is why perhaps she chose this necklace. But to me, looks like this is something very, very strange. The design, I don't know. I don't like it. It is almost like wearing an amulet or something. But again, so now at this point you can see Meghan is touching Harry. Now I actually want to play the audio for you here, so you can see what they're saying.
Someone, is there to give it,
if you know how to help.
Thank you.
At this point, we've got to the stage where...
Okay, so at this point, Meghan was a little bit worried that he might be opening his mouth and ruin the whole thing. So when you see that, Meghan was moving both of her hands together, right here. I believe what happened at that moment was that Meghan was terrified of Harry will go off script, which he did. And so because she is so used to grabbing his mouth and shutting it down, it was almost like a reflex reaction. When you are used to grab people's mouth and stop them from talking, and when that happens in a formal setting, something like this, your instinct kicks in, and you try to grab his mouth. I think this is exactly what Meghan was thinking, that I should grab his mouth, stop talking, because obviously he was going to ruin it, and he did. And so this is how I explain Meghan Markle moving both of her hands together the moment Harry spoke. Let's take a listen one more time.
If you know how to help.
Thank you.
At this point, we've got to the stage.
Here, see why your other hand will also be moved. Why not just one hand? Why you're moving? And it was moved without any real purpose. Again, this is something she's used to, grabbing his mouth. Don't talk. And then this lady, from the very beginning, she made it very, very clear to the audience, to Jane Pauley, to everyone, that she is not interested in what Meghan would say. Now, take a look at her body language, okay? So the more Meghan talks, the more she is leaning towards her husband. I'm going to be showing this right now. And you can clearly see the discomfort this lady was feeling when she was talking about all the stories. So let's take a listen.
In his bedroom.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Yes. We had no idea what happened to our son. He had a beautiful car. He worked and did that. He had a job he liked.
Sisters that loved him, parents that adored him.
Yes. And he was happy. He was a happy kid.
And
Okay, so again, you can see from her facial and body language, she was nervous. If you disagree with me, no problem, but this is what I believe was happening. She was nervous because Meghan was there, and she was her voice pitch was a little bit high than normal, because remember, this is a very indoor, this is indoor setting, right? So you should not be raising your voice. There is no need for that. But this lady, to me, looks like she was raising her voice, all the while feeling the presence of the venom, Meghan Markle, and she was trying to explain things as fast, as loud as possible, and get it done with. And then you see her, the more she is talking. Now here comes the audio. I'm not going to play the audio, I might get a copyright. So you can see this lady, when she is talking, she's leaning towards more her husband, and this is the only time she looked at Meghan Markle. And when she was looking at Meghan Markle, look at her. She was like scared. This is not a look of a person who is friendly with you, but rather a person who is terrified of your presence. She's feeling something there. This is what I understand. You might disagree with me. No problem with that. But she was terrified. This is not a person, like, she's not looking very comfortable around Meghan Markle, and she was again leaning. See, she's leaning towards her husband more, trying to stay away from Meghan Markle when she was giving her that, death stare. That's what I call it. Now take a listen what Harry is doing here. I'm going to be playing the audio when this woman was talking. Let's take a listen.
Possible for parents or anyone.
Okay, so again, Harry is touching his face and not really approving of this discussion, because again, he's trying to get his IPP status in UK. So talking about this whole suicide issue and Oprah interview is not something what he would want. Now here comes the victim face. Are you ready? So they played the video from Oprah Winfrey, and take a look at Meghan's facial expression just for 1 second. I'm going to play that.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
You had.
Okay, so from that face to this face, this is the face she is showing from this to this to make a point. Okay, this is what the Oprah Winfrey, and then the moment it was done, look at her facial expression. It's a victim mentality. So it's a face of a victim. This is what she is trying to achieve here, that yes, what I said was true, and I'm a victim, and I will always be a victim of the British monarchy and racism. Now what is very, very interesting is Jane Pauley. She is trying to connect the dots so desperately, and let's take a look.
Families, and I see you touch your husbands.
Okay, so you touching your husband is what she said before this is that, well, you've been through similar experience. Obviously not. Meghan never faced any of those similar experience at all about suicide. The parents who came here, they faced. Meghan did not face none of those. But here, Jane Pauley is trying to strike a connection here.
And an experience that connects you to these.
No, nothing connects Meghan to this. Then Jane Pauley realized, well, what I'm talking about, these are all bollocks. Okay.
These families, and I see you touch.
And then she immediately went on to point out that Meghan is touching her husband. What is the relationship between touching her husband and what she went through and all of those things? I don't find any sense here. Maybe she's trying to say, okay, so because you are being suicidal, I can see you're touching your husband. No problem. I have no problem with that. Okay, maybe there is a connection. But the problem is Harry does not react. Means he does not approve any of the things that this lady, Jane Pauley, was saying about the monarchy, her experience with the monarchy, the suicidal thought and all that. Harry is completely upset when she made mention of that, and I believe this is when Harry freaked out at Meghan Markle. We know they had Meghan was screaming at a producer, but again, Harry did not respond, did not react at all, because he was worried about his IPP status, how it will come across to the royal family. Now, once Meghan said, "Oh, I did not expect it," let's take a listen at what she said.
You're uncomfortable with my even going there. Do you?
I understand why you are, though. I wasn't expecting it.
Okay, so you can see Meghan Markle is leaning towards Harry. From that position to see, she's leaning towards Harry. It shows to me that Meghan Markle was trying to stop Harry making any comment at that moment, or it could be that she was trying to tell Harry, hey, don't worry about this topic. I know you are not feeling comfortable, because by then she realized Harry was not happy. So she leaned towards Harry to just assure him that, yeah, everything will be fine. We'll still get the IPP status, so don't worry about it. And then, of course, the touching of the forehead comes, and she touched her forehead so many times. Now, she goes on to talk more about this, and look at this facial expression. Okay, I want you to play the video.
It's worth it. I'll take a hit for that.
Okay, so she said, I will take a hit for that if my experience will help other people. She said, I will take a hit for that. And take a look at her mouth. Okay, it is sealed completely. She knows she's lying, and so the lips were tight. And then, of course, the camera, there is a segue, and we see the other pictures here, other videos. But this woman was lying, and you can clearly see it, sealing her lips, and then trying to convince us so desperately, but she got caught with all her lies about the British monarchy. One thing I have noticed throughout this video, and that is that Meghan Markle never ever for 1 second from this clip mentioned anything about her experience from the monarchy. She did not say a single word. She said, I have overcome my challenges. She did not say what I went through with the monarchy, unlike what she said during the Oprah Winfrey interview. Not a single word against the monarchy. Why? Of course, we know that these lies that she is spitting out is not helping her. It did not help her in 2021 with the Oprah Winfrey interview. It's not going to help now. She knows that that sales pitch is dead. She cannot use the same excuse and she cannot whine about the same thing over and over again. But guys, this is a woman sitting there trying to, make some money, help with her PR, but it all backfires. We see that Harry was not helping in this situation to help her to make her case. And then, of course, people, when they saw the video, they put a lot of thumbs down on this video, and now YouTube is also taking some action. I want to know your comment, what you believe is happening here, and share with me in the comment section. See you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.